SLA Video Productions presents from the beautiful Westlake Community Services Center in Westlake, Ohio. It's Westlake Live!
So the cool thing about what you guys do, I mean, I compost in my backyard and I put, my vegetables, I eat lots of vegetables, so lots of vegetable scraps and coffee grounds. And if if I'm pruning my plants, I put the leaves, or if I have to throw a plant away, or at the end of the season when I'm pulling plants out, I just throw them on, and I do this very unscientifically. I literally just have this big pile and I put the leaves on it and I turn it and it works. And in the summer I put all that soil into my garden, and after many years of doing this, my garden is absolutely beautiful. But you have the ability, based on your size, to compost a lot more than that. So tell us about that.
Sure. Yeah, and that's definitely one way to do it. I think that for anybody that is interested in composting at home, there's that many number of ways to get to experience it. So you can be very focused and make sure you have all of the right additives, or you can be a little more loose. Yeah, right? Which is, I've had both experiences. I've really, over the course of where I've come to from now, probably the last 10 or 12 years, I've really done all of the options.
Right.
But with the exception that in your backyard pile, you're really going to want to limit the material that's input to things that are what I like to call a clean waste stream, as opposed to a dirty one. The dirty waste stream would be things like rotten leftovers, like even meat or bones you're going to want to avoid putting in your home pile. Dairy you're not going to want to put in your home pile. The clean waste stream would be, your onion peels, avocado pits, eggshells, coffee grounds, leftover salad, this kind of thing. More like just vegetables and eggshells, coffee grounds, no oil. And if you're going to do a backyard pile, you're also going to want to make sure that you have plenty of carbon. So that would look like, for us, wood chips, and what Rust Belt Riders uses is wood chips or processed leaves, just ground up leaves. And that is the exact carbon material that I also recommend for backyard composters as well. It really does a good job creating small air pockets and incorporating with the nitrogen material or our food scraps in a way that helps it build the right environment for the microorganisms to eat that buffet, right? Which is what we're creating.
And sticks,
a buffet in home.
Right? If you break up sticks,
you can break up sticks. That helps to create those air pockets. And that's all in your backyard. And what distinguishes backyard composting from the kind of industrial composting that we're doing on Rust Belt is both the scale and the material input. And so because we're composting using a thermophilic method, we are able to accept all food products, meat, bones, and dairy included, even leftovers, rotten food, moldy cheese, old expired yogurts, though smell the yogurt before you give it to us, because while the expiration date might say one thing, it might not actually be bad. Your nose is a really good detector. It's gotten us this far in evolution, so I think it's done a pretty good job. So for Rust Belt, we're monitoring our pile temperatures every day. We're looking for our piles to get up to, at minimum, 131 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the temperature that we will start seeing the angry pathogens or unhealthy, unhappy ones that are coming in rotten meat be killed. And so that temperature, 131 degrees, will start to kill off the weed seeds and pathogens that often come with accepting a wider array of material. Now, we never want our piles to get above 185 degrees Fahrenheit, because that is a temperature where we start to see the death of the microorganisms.
So how do you do that?
Yeah.
How do you monitor that?
So monitor it with thermometers. Just big, fancy compost thermometers. They're not even that fancy. They're just really long. And there's a lot of also technology coming on the market. We've been working with a group called We Radiate to do and this is not something we're doing actively, but we have been experimenting with it to do, they put the thermometer in the pile and then we can watch it from, it's like Wi-Fi, like watch your pile temperature increase online, which is pretty interesting. But we just measure the temperature of the pile with compost thermometers. And then when we start to see the piles get up to a certain temperature, we turn them. And so the introduction of oxygen and moisture is what helps bring that pile temperature back down. And so if you are at your home pot, and you can see, steam isn't always the best indicator of how hot the pile it is. While it is an indicator, steam really just shows that this pile is hotter than the air outside. So hopefully your pile is going to be a little hotter than the air outside in the winter time. Sometimes not, which can be fine as well. But for us, it's really important that we turn those piles in a measured way on a regular schedule once we see them hit the right temperature.
Right.